Good morning, yogis. Welcome. It's Kelly here as I set up my living room to guide you through a Vinyasa practice today. I wanted to start by reading you an excerpt from one of my favorite yogic texts that is called Yoga Mind, Body, and Spirit, A Return to Wholeness. And it's written by Donna Fahri, who is a very lovely yoga teacher that has a lot of excellent reading material that I referenced during my teacher training. And so, as I settle us in for a little story time, go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable position on your yoga mat. You've got Sukhasana, legs crisscross. You can take child's pose, or you can stay standing as you join me. Take a big breath in. And your open mouth. Again, we breathe in, ready to receive. As you exhale, we release what no longer serves us. See you later. All right, I'm taking us to page 5. When we clean the windshield of our car, we suddenly see the road ahead as bright and defined. The road, the image before us, is exactly as it was before we cleaned the window. The trees are the same green, the sky the same vivid blue, and the markers, the signs, just as defined. Only now we can see what is there. We start to be able to see the potholes in the road ahead and to avoid them. We start to remember such dangerous roads and steer our way clear to safer routes in the future. We see more clearly with a clean windshield. It is in the same way that yoga is not about self-improvement. It's not about making ourselves better. It is a process of deconstructing all of the barriers we may have erected that prevent us from having an authentic connection with ourselves and the world. And so, we accept ourselves exactly as we are. We are here to clean our windshield so that you can see what lies before you authentically, honestly, and go from there. Instead of having a muddied vessel, we choose to clean and clear our vessel so that we are ready to receive. And so Vinyasa is an excellent way to align the body and mind, to yoke the mind and body, which is the very definition of yoga. When you notice that your mind and your body aren't connected, be proud that you are aware of this and continue your yoking practices so that you feel the two start to align with one another. The best way for me to do this is through asana. And so you'll join me today. You'll bring your palms face up, ready to receive. You're going to bring your index and thumb fingers to touch Gyan Mudra, our quest for peace, as you lean back in your seat. A little tuck of the chin in towards the chest. Scoop of the tailbone. Stillness. Breath in. Breath out. Chin in towards the chest as you lightly bow to your practice. A light stretch in the neck. May you take this time to dedicate a sliver of your practice to someone or something. Head returns to center. Bring your hands to heart center as you imagine the face of that loved one coming before you. Send them a little love beam from your heart to theirs. Fully bow to your practice as you breathe out, head down to the floor. You'll sit up nice and tall. We're switching out the legs. So if you took a seated pose, go ahead and untangle, unwind. You'll bring your arms overhead, start here. This is a great way to check in with your shoulders before we open them. How do they feel? How was your sleep cycle? What's tight? Does one arm feel longer than the other? We build on, lift the chin up towards the sky. Unclench your feet, your thighs, give your toes a wiggle. Left hand will lead. As you breathe out, hand comes down to the floor. You must keep your right side anchored down on the mat. So don't lift that cheek. Start to inhale, sweep the arms overhead, and you get to choose the intensity here. I suggest your palm on the floor so you can crawl your hand closer to you for less sensation. Each breath out is an opportunity to go a little deeper. One of my favorites. Fully press the right side down. Breathe in. Both arms sweep overhead. You'll keep breathing. I just let you know which breath to take when you're moving. So if I tell you to inhale to rise, you must breathe out when you're done inhaling, even if I'm not cueing it. I'm just letting you know when to align breath to movement accordingly. We get used to this. Another part of your yoking of mind and body. How's that arm feel? One longer than the other. Exhale to switch sides. My bookmark. Thank you, Lydia. Do anyone else use really cute things for your bookmark, right? Something that brings you joy. I'll keep that there. And I will bring my eyes to the sky. Unclench the feet. If you need wiggles, take wiggles. There will be days when you need stillness. There will be days when you need to get some of that chatter out of the body. You do you. If you're going deeper, now's a good time. Just a few more rounds of breath to go. Back to center. Arms will sweep overhead and you'll switch sides. Left hand down to the floor. Very similar to thread the needle. As you breathe in, sweep that right hand back. As you exhale, you're going to round your shoulders, swoop your hand, take a scoop. Look down to the floor. Breath in, hand sweeps up. This is your range of motion. You're not in pain. As you exhale, thread your hand between your wrist and your hip. We take 3 more, 5 altogether. Back to center we go. We must feel the effects of the pose. Let's say your ankles are feeling tender, switch out the legs, take something comfortable. You deserve to be comfortable in your yoga practice. Exhale, switch sides, and seal your cheek down. Prepare to thread your needle. Try to mimic the same depth we took on the other side. We breathe in, we look up. We exhale to thread. How's that left cheek? Keep it on the floor. Hold yourself accountable. Finish your 5. Meet with the arms overhead. We'll take a tabletop pose. I'll see you on your hands and knees. It takes great discipline to practice on your own virtually with a video, so may you be kind as you correct your own alignment. Maybe you're practicing in front of a mirror, or you have a friend that can take a look at your spine right now. Maybe record yourself to see what you notice. We've got a dip in the spine here. This is cow pose. Think of a cow with their udders kind of draping and sloshing around on the floor. That's how we get the cow. Inhale, chin up to the sky. Drop your udders, look up. Exhale to round your spine, look towards your belly button, maybe hinge forward and back. Next we take a bit of duck dives, if you will. So what you'll do is you'll bend at your elbows, you'll swoop nice and low, and you'll find a little rounding. You'll push yourself down to the heels. Swoop underneath your wave. Press into the hands, round the spine. Down to the heels. Belly really low, army crawl, underneath the wave. Press into the hands, round your spine. It's a pretty good description. Good thing you can see me. So go for it. Take a few. And then we build new muscle memory. We're going to switch directions. So round spine, hinge over the fingertips, lower down, push your booty back to the heels. Round spine, lift, lower, push back. Back to center, knees nice and wide. Let's take child's pose. It's the first one of the day. If you didn't start in child's pose, you'll see I have all of my props over here. I super highly suggest that you get a pair of blocks. Thank you, Adriana, my roommate from the past. She bought me a pair of blocks for my birthday, my 27th birthday. And it is such a lovely gift. I use them all the time. I think about her every time I use them. If you're looking for a good gift to give someone, block a clock, okay? We got blocks. But let's say you need a different height. They also make them in a little skinny guy. So have a few available. You can always use a book, a pillow, the back of your couch cushion. That's a great bolster. Off we go. Head on down. You've got 3 heights to pick from. Choose the one that works best for you. Spine is nice and long, feet are relaxed. Exhales, forehead down to the mat or the block. Let's say that's too far away for you. Slide your block further away, crawl a bit higher. It is a misconception that you need to sit on your heels. Oh no, you are certainly allowed to lift yourself up just a bit. Be sure the knees feel okay. Forehead down to the mat. You're unclenching your stomach here. Hollow belly. Let the anxiety go. Let your digestion go to work. Let your head go. The floor is holding you. Let the neck go. Eyes go. Jaw. And out of our child's pose. Go ahead and get your props out of the way. We meet in downward facing dog. You're going to tuck your toes. Take a breath in. Exhale, press into the hands. You're looking towards your belly button. And I'm going to start this round with a very generous bend in my knees because my priority is that long flat back. Start with the hands. Nice and sealed. Shift your drishti between the legs. Suck in the stomach, press into the hands. You can bend as much in your knees as you need. When you're ready to straighten them, breathe in, legs nice and long. You can pedal out your heels. Just try to keep your fingertips on the floor. Best you can. On our breath in, we will look up, look between the hands. As you exhale, look at your belly button. Breath in, look between the hands. Exhale, belly button. Walk your feet towards your hands. We will meet near the top of the mat. You'll take your forward fold. I'm going to encourage interlacing your hands onto the back of your head for this one. Big bend in the knees as you exhale, forward fold. Let's say you needed more support in this pose. Just bring a chair out in front of you, something for you to reach towards. Each breath in, you're hinging forward, straightening the legs. Each exhale, you're dropping the head, letting it go. I've got a pretty round spine going right now, relaxing through the shoulders, the neck. When we take halfway lift, we are truly looking for a tabletop. As you breathe in, press into the palms, little bend in your knees. We're going to build on. You're going to take your hands and you're going to kind of press them into your thighs, kind of like you're a cat sitting on top of your owner's lap, lightly pressing, pressing, pressing into the thighs, sucking in the stomach, little quad massage, and exhales, forward fold. Arm sweep overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, extended mountain pose. Hands to heart center, Samastitihi. A moment of stillness, eyes closed, tailbones tucked. Inhale, arm sweep overhead. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, take a breath in. Plant your palms, find your high plank pose. I am joining you as we hold for a bit. Phalakasana. Hello, you've got it. We all have room for improvement. I'm doing my very best. There is a scoop in my tailbone so that my booty's not sticking out, okay? Using my thumbs, using my pinkies. Let's bring the heels just a bit higher. Come on to the tippy toes. Strong yogis. Hinge forward, breathe in. Low plank, exhale. Upward facing dog, take a breath in. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Left leg nice and high. Today we are starting on the left side, three-legged dog. While you're in three-legged dog, I want to show some of you a bit different of a way to get into this pose. We're going to start with the left leg high and then step through between the hands. But some of you need a bit different of an option. No worries. What you'll do is you'll start at the top of your mat. Inhale, arm sweep overhead. Fold forward as you exhale. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Plant the palms, keep your left foot on the floor, step your right foot back. That's how you can skip your vinyasa today if you need it. Arms will sweep overhead. Welcome to crescent pose. We settle in, hips face forward, arms will sweep overhead, Anjaneyasana. We're aligning breath to movement. You are striving to breathe in and out through your nose. Warrior two. Back foot turns open, hips might be noisy, so be gentle. Let's warm up here. Like my St. Patrick's Day shirt. I had big plans for this shirt on St. Patrick's Day, but here we are in a quarantine, wearing my shirt in April. It's okay. All right. So up next, you're gonna press your booty back in your warrior two. You're gonna breathe in, scoop your tailbone, thrust forward. Exhale, push the booty back. T. How's your alignment? Look over your left middle finger. You're building endurance in this leg. If you're fatigued, straighten your left leg. It's just yoga. Exhale, sink a little lower. Join us when you can. We use our breath in to look up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Breath out, left hand down to the thigh, extended side angle, right hand high. My ankle and my wrist are in one nice long line. Turn your chin up to the sky. Breath in, warrior two. Breath out. Breath in, hinge forward. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Right heel turns up. Inhale, left leg high. High to low plank as you exhale. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, take your breath in. Downward facing dog as you exhale. We're taking child's pose in between. Bend at the knees, forehead down to the floor. If your shoulders are tight, no worries, reach for your feet. Instead, Balasana. Feel the effects of cleaning your windshield. You'll start to come out of your child's pose, and it's yogi's choice. Do you want to flow through your vinyasa? How's your blood level? How's your pulse? How's your breath? You can take your high to low plank, up to down dog, or you can meet us standing at the top of the mat. Remember your new transition that you learned today. From your mountain pose, arms will sweep overhead. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Plant the palms, right foot stays on the floor. Here we are, crescent pose. Set up for success with this lunge. Inhale, arms sweep overhead, Anjaneyasana. See how I turn my hips forward? Your left hip's gonna be tempted to open, you're closing it. Belly button is facing the same direction as your drishti, your gaze, your face, your eyes. Look up. Nice deep lunge, warrior two, as you exhale. Check your knee. We've got some warming up to do. So press the booty back. Lean. Breathe in. Scoop the tailbone. Sit up tall. Exhale. Push back. As many as needed. Prescribe yourself a few. If this feels terrible, good on you for noticing. Skip it. Much of your yoga practice is going to be finding what you don't like, what doesn't work for you, what doesn't feel good. So be proud when you notice these things. We are building endurance, learning what we don't like on the mat very, very nicely, so that when we step off of the mat and we find things that we don't like, we have a better awareness of how to respond, how to act, to lead with kindness. Arms nice and wide like a T. Look over your right middle finger. Virabhadrasana. Reverse your warrior. Breath in, right hand high. Extended side angles, make your transition. You're not dumping your weight into this thigh. If you're tempted, hover your forearm. Hold yourself accountable. Wrist to ankle, nice and long. Look up. Find your warrior two. Breathe in. Open mouth. Hinge forward. Breathe in. Hands down to the mat. Let's flow. Right leg high. Breathe in. High to low plank. Exhale. Upward facing dog. Breath is in. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Right leg nice and high. Yes, back on the right side. I know it. Step the leg through. Low lunge. Crescent pose. Arms sweep overhead. Add in a back bend as you exhale. Crescents. Breathe in. Warrior two. Exhale. Reverse your warrior. Breathe in. Extended side angle. Exhale. Star pose. We add on, hips forward, hands up to the sky. And hands to heart center. We stay here for a moment. If you are wondering how I watch TV, I absolutely stand like this for about 5 to 10 minutes at a time. If I'm choosing to watch TV and binge watch an entire Netflix season of Ozark, I stand up for every episode like this. What am I doing while I'm hanging out here? I have my toes and my knees pointed in the same line. A few wiggles. We're opening up the groin. Maybe you need a little bend in your knees, that's fine. But you're scooping your tailbone towards the floor. And every once in a while you're going to check in and realize you're clenching. You're clenching your cheeks, you're clenching your toes, you're clenching your thighs, and that will not do. So nothing to do but hang out. If you have your TV in front of you, I would have maybe a chair, and you'll stand like this until you're at fatigue, warming up, rolling open the hips. We're gonna hang out here for about 15 more moments, seconds, breaths. So take it away. You're using all parts of your foot, not just the ball mounds, not just the edges, not just your heels. Think of suction cupped feet. Move them around until you feel content. You should not be feeling this in your knees. If you are, turn your toes a bit closer towards me. Less of a stretch in the groin. If you need more, keep opening, opening, opening. We look up. Star pose, press your palms together to touch. Yes, I do this while watching TV. Yes, I do this randomly throughout the day. We must stand more than we're used to. If I'm stuck in a classroom for a long period of time, I will absolutely stand and make myself a bit more comfortable. Breath out, wrist to one side. Notice my hips are staying put, just my torso's moving. Breath in to center. So as I arch to one side, I'm not sticking my booty out. See how that's the difference between that? Nice and controlled. Back to center. Find your star pose. Breathe in. Back bend. Exhale. Back to center. We rise. Warrior two. Into the left leg. Reverse your warrior. Breathe in. Extended side angle. Lean in to the left leg. Right hand high. Warrior twos. We meet here. You're going to practice your crescent transition. So this back foot, you need to come up onto the tippy toes. So I'm going to take a shorter stance. Shimmy your foot. Come onto the tippy toe. As you turn to the left leg, heel nice and high, arms up and overhead. Great for our balance. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Off we go. Inhale, left leg high. High to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog as you breathe in. Downward facing dog as you exhale. That was the cat and cow variation of your vinyasa. If you need to modify, let's go. Left leg high, three-legged. Low lunge, step through. Crescent pose, arms overhead. Back bend, exhale. Back to center, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, Virabhadrasana. Reverse your warrior, breathe in. Extended side angle, exhale. Star pose, burst open. Back bend, exhale. Back to center, hands onto your thighs. Let's take a few shoulder dips. No rush. We did not come to yoga to rush through it. We have chosen the present moment, and sometimes it can be difficult to stay in, but no to-do lists, no distractions, just your pranayama. Try to join me nice and low in horse squat. If you are a fan of the Wim Hof method, if you are crazy and love to jump in ice baths, okay, this is how they have you warm up. Maybe you've seen him do it, right? And he's saying horse stance, and he's horse stance, horse stance, horse stance, and he just screams it at you. It sounds like he's saying horse dance. That's what he's talking about. Yoga, this pose. Sink nice and low. You're peeling your knees open. They're not rounding in, pulling out, hands to heart center. We hold. If you need more of a challenge, close your eyes. Sink a bit lower. Star pose, burst open. Back bend, exhale. Back to center. You'll be taking warrior two in your right leg. Reverse your warrior, breathe in. Extended side angle, exhale. Back to warrior two, breathe in. Open mouth. We're transitioning to crescent. You're strengthening your shins and your ankles. Do your best. Make a bit of a shorter stance if you need it. Onto your left tippy toe. You're turning, facing the front of the room. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Back bend, exhale. Back to center, we rise. Hands down to the mat, we flow. Right leg high, breathe in. High to low plank, take it away. Upward dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, exhale. Let's take puppy pose. Drop down to your knees. You're gonna keep a tabletop stance with your hips and your knees aligned, but your forehead's gonna head down to the mat. If your forehead doesn't reach, use your forearms. Grab your handy dandy block. Use what you need. You deserve the whole 3 seconds that it takes to make yourself comfortable. I will never stop saying that. Puppies, let's do it. You are relaxing your stomach, unclenching, letting go, hollow. You'll press into your hands, and you'll decide if you're going to take downward facing dog. I'll see you there. Hop into down dog, and you are going to practice trusting your intuition. Stay in downward facing dog. You've got this. May my voice guide you. Right leg high. Breathe in. Right leg steps through between the hands. Low lunge. Crescent pose. Arms overhead. Back bend. Exhale. Back to crescent. Breathe in. Warrior two. Breathe out. Reverse your warrior. Right hand high. Extended side angle as you breathe out. Star pose. Burst open. Back bend. Exhale. Back to center. Hands through to heart center. Take one valiant horse squat. Exhale. Hands through to heart center. Happy to be here. Relaxed face. Star pose. Burst open. Back bend. Exhale. Back to center. We challenge ourselves. Warrior two into your left leg. Reverse your warrior. Left hand high. Extended side angle. Right hand high. Warrior twos. Burst open. Open mouth. Exhale. You've got a right heel to lift. Challenge yourself. Find crescent pose on Janayasana. Back bend as you breathe out. Back to center. We're ready to flow just like that. Hands down to the mat. You did a fabulous job. Leg high. Breathe in. High to low plank. Exhale. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find a seat. Join me here. As you notice if that was a challenge for you. Perhaps you've already been watching this video by not watching it at all, but just listening to my voice. Perhaps you're used to practicing with me in the studio and you don't need a visual demonstration. Perhaps you just spent the last minute going, I have absolutely no idea what we're doing at all. This is a seat of awareness. How did you respond to the challenge? What came up? Did you lead with kindness? Was it exciting? Did it challenge you? Did you even notice? Those kinds of things. We clean our windshield so that we can see what's already there. A few more rounds of breath. Eyes can open. You'll stay in your seat and you're going to extend your right leg out nice and long. So left foot will stay nice and bent. Right leg will come off to the side. This is Janu Sirshasana. As you turn towards the foot, you'll breathe out and fold over the leg. Any expectant mamas, any bellies in the way, just turn yourself a bit more open so that you have room. You're striving to face this foot. You must keep your left cheek on the ground. This is your IT band that you're sitting right on top of. Hold yourself accountable. Not all of your weight is in this right leg. Straight spine. Breathe in. Exhales to fold. Left hand will lead. We're drawing a rainbow. Inhale, look back. Exhale, tap the toe. Breath in, rainbow. Exhale, tap the toe. We're taking 5 all together. Fallen star, lead with your left hand. Plant it onto the mat. Press into your left knee. Inhale, hips high. Look up. Three, 2, and 1. Take a seat. We switch out the legs. Left leg will come out nice and long. Right sole of the foot into your thigh. Be sure that your ankle feels okay. Let's say you feel like you're dumping all your weight into this ankle. Lean back until you're on your sits bones. Bones in the floor. Maybe a blanket underneath your ankle if you need it. Exhales to fold. This is a pose of intuition. Our third eye chakra, ajna, is dropping down to the knee. If you want to feel that sensation and you are nowhere near your knee, all you gotta do is bend at your knee and then breathe out. You can get that sensation of the gland activating, connecting. Or you can use your imagination and visualize yourself in the full expression of this pose. Close your eyes, imagine the feeling of your knee, your hairy, hot little knee, pressing into your forehead. Right hand will lead 5 rounds. Draw your rainbow. Fallen star, right hand leads. Press into your right knee. Be sure you've got some cushion. Hips up to the sky. This left foot is up to you. Some like to seal. Some like to stay on their heel. I love when it rhymes. Look up. And breath out to take a seat. Legs will stick out nice and long. You'll keep your heels on the floor as we practice our C curl. Some of you might need a little bend in the knees, that's just fine. Hands out in front of you. How slow can you go? Be sure there's room for you, right? Look behind you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Full body stretch. May you arrive to the floor. Palms will come face down on the mat. You'll find the soles of your feet. Get your wiggles out of the way. What do I like to do to get my low back suction cupped on the floor? Couple things you can do. If you notice, if you have space right here, we need to get that space taken care of. So you're gonna lengthen yourself a bit more. You're gonna tuck your chin in towards the chest and set your head back down. And I must add, for my big booty homies, if you have a larger backside, you're gonna tend to have your butt lifted and a bit of a twerk in your tailbone, and you need to work around that. I'm a pretty skinny pool noodle on the floor, okay? So you're gonna need to take maybe a blanket and slip it underneath your hips, right? Just a little inch or 2 cushion to lift your backside up so that you can fully suction cup. So if you're like, well, I can't suction cup my back because I have this lovely, lovely booty, be proud that you've noticed. Go grab a blanket and slide it right underneath your tailbone, and then join me here for bridge pose. Press into the palms, tuck of the chin. Inhale, hips nice and high. We start here so you can get acquainted with your hands on the floor. They're striving for the floor. Off we go, take a lift. Stabilize into the left leg, right toe. Kicks nice and high. One-legged bridge. Figure 4. Drop your ankle to the top of this left thigh. We are still hovered. 3, 2, and 1. Settle yourself down. Hug your knees in towards the chest. If you can hold the back of your left leg, let's do it. We're winding down, slowing down the breath. option to build on. What you'll do is you'll open your arms wide like a T, drop your right foot down to the left side of your mat for this supine twist. Both shoulders are staying on the floor. Twist back to center. We will come out of this pose the way we got into it. Palms face down, press into the left foot from your figure four. Nice and lifted, right toe nice and high. Breathe in. Foot down to the floor, find your bridge. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the hips down to the mat. Hug your knees in towards your chest, forehead in towards the knee. 3, 2, and 1. Feet down to the mat. We switch sides. First, bridge pose. You're welcome to stay here. Left leg nice and high. Point the toe. Notice the difference on this side. Are you a bit more flexible? Is it a bit tighter? First, ankle to the top of the thigh, then press the hips forward. Really active, flexed left foot. Can you see mine? As you exhale, take a seat. Hug the legs in towards the chest. We've got figure 4 going on. These poses are lovely for your digestion. Perhaps your belly is making some noises. Be proud of your awareness. You need to let the belly go. You do not have a tight core as you open the arms and then take supine twist, left sole of the foot down to the floor. When you twist back to center, bring the palms face down on the sides of your hips. Tuck of the chin, press in to the right foot. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, foot down to the floor. Last little lift here in our bridge pose. Hips down to the mat. Forehead in towards the knees. Take a squeeze. Thank yourself for your discipline. If your forearms can wrap around your shins, let's do it. A gentle clasp, a grip of life, not the grip of death, although we are heading to corpse pose. So take a smile and send it to that loved one that you thought of earlier today. Light and bright, you'll burst open. We find our sweet, sweet Shavasana. Let your legs open like a book. Lift the head, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Set the head back down to the floor. Shavasana. morning stretch. Return to consciousness. Zip the legs together. Breathe in. Open mouth. Knees come in towards the chest. And today the moon is getting bigger. And as it is, we turn to the right side of the mat. Knees will drop to the right. Hands will come to heart center. We rise out of our Shavasana from a fetal pose. We are reborn to a seat. Palms are face up, the same way we started our discipline together. We end Gyan Mudra, your quest for peace. May you be able to take this peaceful and moving meditation with you for the rest of the day. The light, the teacher in me, is so honored to guide the teacher, the light in you. We bow forward. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Just like that, we got another yoga session in the books. If you have any feedback that you'd like to give, I love to hear it. Especially as I transition to this virtual field, I miss my human interaction. So do not remain socially distant. Feel free to leave me a little love beam, what you liked the most, what you hated the most. I love hearing all of it. All sides of yoga. And if you need some good reading materials, I bought this book used on Amazon for $5, and I will leave a description in the section below so that you can find yourself some Donna Fahri. Bye guys!